Today on Suncoast View, conflict continues over the former Colony Resort on Longboat Key. A grassroots effort to control development succeeds. We'll discuss.
It is Workout Wednesday, and we're going to spice things up a bit and give pole fitness a try right here in our studio.
And some of the biggest stars are headed to the Suncoast this month. We'll help you get the hottest tickets in town with the Van Wezel. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Sheba Mateo and Kelly Jaco. Great to have you both with us.
Yes. Happy to be back, yes.
We have a lot of fun things in store for today. We are sad that Linda is a little under the weather. We knew yesterday that she was coming down with something, so we are glad that she is staying home and taking care of her.
She fought that bug for a while.
Yes.
She didn't get it. She didn't get it. And hopefully it'll be a quick recovery.
Exactly. So thanks to Sheba for coming back with us today. Kelly, I have to ask, are your muscles sore after a big half music marathon weekend?
Everything, it's not even so much soreness, just like exhaustion when you exert for that, like that for that
couple hours,
but I feel good. Today I feel good. Monday and Tuesday was rough.
So was this an early start?
That was early. Yeah, we started at 6:30, so I was pretty happy there. I was happy throughout most of the race, actually. It was a really, it was great. Everything about it was great. And then this is the finish. So
1:32. Holy cow. No couple hours for you. That's amazing.
Still be tying my shoes.
It was a really, really big PR for me, like 12 minutes. So
you shaved 12 minutes off your PR?
But the last time I ran this race was 2 years ago, and I wasn't so much, I really wasn't focusing on running. And then you guys followed the New York City Marathon,
right.
And it really took my running to another level. And my training partner and very good friend Katie, she actually won the race, and training with her took it to another level. So now I'm shooting for 1:30.
Third, which is nothing,
I came in third.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
It was a big race.
And it's a huge race, sold out. The crowds were amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm always happy to hear when people that I have respect for on a fitness level, that you also have a mentor above. You know, I just assume you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm fitness all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Katie and I have been here in this town together for a long time, and she kind of like forced herself into my running world, and I didn't want to run with her. I was intimidated, but now it's all good.
And it also makes me feel better to hear Kelly say she's intimidated. Because it's a running joke on the show. When you come on and we're doing fitness, I'm intimidated. So
how about just when she walks in the room?
Exactly. So we are. That always makes it very real. You're very real, and we love that about you. Well, we're going to keep it very real today because we're going to try a type of fitness that is new to all of us. So we are laying it all out there literally. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. But the reason we're going to do it is because there are such good things in the kitchen afterward that we got to get a little bit of a workout in on Wednesday, Judy, so we can head into your beignets.
That is so true, because we are celebrating Mardi Gras, of course, and it's all around the Suncoast, and these restaurants have really popped in some goodies, including homemade beignets with bananas and pineapples in them, so I can't wait to kick it off.
Okay, that looks wonderful. I don't get to go to New Orleans to celebrate, so I'd like to celebrate here. That sounds like a good way to do it. All right, and Kelly has a great way to keep us working out all the time. I am anxiously awaiting your Lakewood Ranch studio.
Me too. So new builds are really hard to do. We've just been. We have mirrors up. The mirrors are up, and actually all of the equipment will go in this weekend. Our floors are going down this weekend, and then the last thing that we're waiting on, we have to actually have a welder construct the heavy bag trees because the ceilings are very, very high. So we are close. I would say my husband's going to kill me because I'm going to give a grand opening date, but I would say probably the 19th would be the soft opening of this month. So that's going to light a fire under all of our bottoms, and we're gonna get it open.
So he was
caulking the back of the mirrors,
and then they got up.
Well, and that's what he was the most stressed about. Moving those mirrors and putting them up is a little scary.
You know what, though? I got to give you hats off, because I know that you had an earlier date planned.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do something, I say do it right, especially in a facility where safety is important. So good for you. Take the time.
Well, and I felt bad. We had it, but you know, it's a build. It's a new build.
Absolutely.
And how many times have we been through moves with our homes, you know, construction of any kind?
Yeah, and construction
You're not
now,
in control. You are not in control.
Yeah.
So everybody understands
it's going to be done right, and it's going to be pretty incredible.
The way to do it.
It's going to be worth the wait. And it's on my way home, so I'm out of excuses.
I know.
And Kelly's like, I know you are, and I'm going to get you.
Even if it was, I don't think I. No, just kidding.
All right.
We're
going to make it fun. It is time for our first hot topic. And Longboat Key residents are standing strong in their opposition against development plans for the former Colony Resort. The Orlando-based developer has now submitted a new plan with fewer condominiums included. So they're at 78 residences, down from 102. That is after grassroots groups waged a big war on density concerns on Longboat Key for the Colony. A 5-star St. Regis hotel is still planned, plus multiple restaurants and a 10,000 square foot ballroom. Now the size of the ballroom is under fire, with concerns it will lead to too large of events with too much outside traffic coming onto Longboat Key. So this is all headed back to the zoning board. Is this getting out of hand?
I think it depends on what the end goal is. Is it tourism there? Is it what's the overall focus? Because we're creating jobs, correct? We're making more people aware of all of our beautiful, beaches in Longboat Key. So I love the St. Regis. So I must say I might have a staycation there. But anyway,
the Colony is like a landmark here. I think one of the last times I was on, we were talking about this, and my mom was like the fitness director of the Colony Beach Club. With the Beach Boys would come in, and it was a big place then.
Yes,
and so,
the Monkey Bar.
Yeah, so I don't think it should be such a huge issue. I think.
Well, we talked with you about waiting and doing things right and not hurrying, and I don't think that that's what's happening here. And my people of Longboat Key, I get you, I feel you. The traffic on Longboat Key is rough.
It is,
and I try to avoid it, so I can understand. I think they're hesitant to have it happen because they know the amount of traffic that's going to come on the island. But I think it's inevitable. I think it's not a matter of you can stall and it won't happen. I think it's going to happen. So I'm hopeful that when it does happen, then it'll kick up the conversation of, okay, how do we fix this traffic situation? Is it water taxis? Is it what is the solution?
Because it should happen. And here's my thing. That is a gorgeous piece of property on one of the more gorgeous places in the world, and it's sitting there decrepit. And that somebody has the money and the desire to make it better. I know we had to watch how many people are coming and how dense the area is. We've gotten through all that. Let's not argue about the ballroom. We can control event sizes, they can fire code it, they can do whatever. But let the property be beautiful again. Every time I drive by there, I've heard the stories from people like Kelly who were here and remember, and whose mom was there, and the clobbers and everybody. I missed all that. I want to see it in its glory.
It was really incredible.
Hopefully, I think we're getting closer, but we're still a lot of nitty-picky going on here.
And one more thing.
And one more thing. And I can't blame them because it is a beautiful place. So a monumental moment on Florida's Space Coast when SpaceX successfully launched a Falcon Heavy rocket with a Tesla Roadster on board. So this was actually a test launch of a rocket with 3 core boosters. That's the important part because it is the most powerful operation rocket in the world. It is capable of carrying much heavier loads into space than anything prior. Now, there was a high chance of failure. That's why most companies use dummy payloads to test their launch. But not Elon Musk. He loaded up his Tesla Roadster and said, well, let's send it up and see what happens. Amazing. 2.3 million watched the live stream on YouTube. And to successfully get the boosters back, what a cool moment for the private space industry at this point.
It is.
We were so hurt when NASA did such a scale back, but I think there's such an amazing opportunity for all of Florida now. And our kids who virtually know nothing about space because they stopped talking about it.
Yes, that's what's really cool is when I saw my social media feeds, it was the number of younger people that I would not have expected to necessarily care unless their classrooms made them watch a launch.
Right.
Really excited about this. So, when we talk about STEM, examples like this, I think, can get kids excited, and then maybe they won't work for NASA, but they might go into an engineering field because
they can work for SpaceX.
And I still love to take Amina to Cape Canaveral. Like we'll go to the space, and we just have a blast there. So I think it, also. Seeing this allows her to be able to kind of connect the dots, and I thought it was very cool. Seeing
cool.
Yes, can you imagine?
Seeing
and
the
it looked
Tesla.
almost fake. Elon Musk is doing really incredible things for us on land and also now in space. My niece is 3 and she surely is going to be an astronaut one day. That child wears full astronaut gear, and she was watching that
That's so great. That makes me happy.
Can you imagine when she's an adult,
Yeah.
she might say, well, no, I remember when I was a kid,
right.
I was watching this launch, and that's what
It's
did it.
important to have it
And
back.
David Bowie's song playing.
No, it was all a little surreal. So very nice to have that part of the world back. Have you noticed on Facebook that there are social media support groups for practically everything? I will admit I'm addicted one for college-bound kids. I can't learn enough about how you cope with that. But they're also increasingly popular as a tool to beat addiction. 1 in 7 people struggles with substance abuse and addiction. Personal support is key to recovery. It helps you stay motivated and reduces symptoms of depression. Now, in the past, the model has been face-to-face for treatment groups. Do you think digital groups can have the same impact?
Personally, I need to do a little bit more research, but I would suggest that we would simply be replacing one addiction for another. There's so much research behind social media adding to the ADHD levels for adults, and also just the addictive quality and how social media is rewiring our brains physically.
But what about the need to know you're not alone in your rabbit hole? You know, you're spiraling down.
That's why we're still human beings. That's why I still like support groups. It's okay to get out and touch. You know, we talked about touchy feel, understanding the facial recognition, like we talked about before, like smiling, empathy, those kinds of things you cannot feel, you know, through reading text.
I agree, and especially as someone who, you know, the days I don't want to see a therapist are the days I need to see my therapist.
That's exactly right.
The act of going, but I do think this is a great argument for people that say all social media is all bad. No, it really isn't. That's like saying your telephone is all bad. It really is just the medium that you use to communicate. So in some cases, this could be a life-saving tool for people that are battling addiction. We always say, oh, if something's bothering you, if you're having bad thoughts or suicidal thoughts, reach out. Well, picking up a phone might be a little easier to pick up a phone and connect than to call someone.
Right, you couple it with that human connection. You use it together. There's an outlet if it's the middle of the night or you don't have access to a meeting. Or
and you're incognito, you know, because a lot of those support groups, you don't necessarily know the people you're talking to. I mean, this thing we're doing with the college moms, I don't know who these people are, but they all have 17-year-olds.
With a professional, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that kind of
I don't think it replaces the professional, certainly, and it shouldn't replace the professional. But I'm not sure it can't be an additional tool.
Yeah,
you know,
addiction is a
I need
heavier.
more.
Yeah, no, I respect
well, and you
that.
come at it from a very traditional psychologist background.
Yes, so probably that's why.
No, that's
That's good.
We like your voice. But on a
We're all on
lighter,
social media.
but on a lighter note, so you know, addiction is a heavier topic. But think about like the college mom support groups, right?
Yes.
There's things you can find out just by asking. You have all of these brains at your
Well, there's
fingertips.
everything. I mean, the mom support groups are absolutely amazing. It was years and years ago, but when I went through a miscarriage, that was my big deep down time in life. And I found online the chat rooms and things like that. And you realize you're not crazy. Like other people feel and think these things too. You know,
I'm too narcissistic to think that about myself.
you learn how to grieve. You learn how to cope with kids who don't behave. You know, I mean, there's everything out there. But I agree, I can't replace professional help. But boy, it's nice to know you're not the only one that feels like
That's
something.
right. I
It
do
really
agree.
is.
Or sometimes you need a plumber, and you're like, hey, everybody, who's a good plumber?
I did that last week, right? 2 weeks ago.
Social media?
Yes.
You can find anything. Well, if you are celebrating Valentine's Day single, we have a sweetheart of a deal for you. Free wings. So Hooters locations are offering you a free plate of 10 boneless wings if you bring in a photo or a story of your ex and you shred it in front of their staff.
Oh my God.
I also read if you do this online and send them video or photo proof, they will send you
What
a
if you just
coupon.
bring a photo of a guy or a girl and you shred it? And
You
make
can play
something
the
up.
system any way
If
you'd
you really
like.
want those wings.
If you really,
really
want,
want
I can see
to.
my husband doing that. Here you go.
Right. No, like, no, that's the picture that came in the frame. That is not your person.
Isn't that funny? But I love the fun of it. Just because, you know, if you're single on Valentine's Day, you should get something too.
And a meal for one. That's nice.
Nothing wrong with that. Wings for one, please. All right, we're going to check out our happy hour forecast. When we come back, we've got the hottest tickets from the Van Wezel.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your happy hour forecast. First alert weather looking good too today. Just a lot of sunshine. Some high cirrus clouds, but nothing to worry about. The sun is still able to penetrate through. Temperatures did warm, too, in the low 80s, even some mid-80s well inland. What we have, though, is the possibility of some sea fog developing through this evening. It could be rather thick for daybreak tomorrow, so commuters beware. You may need a little extra drive time tomorrow morning, dropping the kids off or heading to work, or both. 76 degrees right now. Dew point is at 67. That wind is turned around to the south-southwest, indicating a little sea breeze has kicked in. The barometer now 30-15. That's sliding down as a cold front approaches. So the pressure is weakening a little bit, but not much. That high pressure is going to stick around, too, I think, through the next several days, despite the presence of this weak cold front. And look at that, temperature 65 at 11 o'clock, so still very mild to warm through this evening. I mentioned that fog. That's going to be the biggest issue. We'll see that fog increasing through the night. Well, more than that at 5.
Some of the biggest names in entertainment are headed to the Suncoast this spring, and get your calendars ready. Chuck Stevens from Van Wezel is here to tell us about the hottest tickets in town while they still last, because these are ones that we're going to have to jump on pretty quickly.
They're moving fast. They are all moving fast. And the first one you've got to get into is Barry Manilow.
Okay, let me tell you about Barry Manilow. My mother was the president of his fan club in Central New York. He was the first, second, and third concert I ever saw.
Great. I probably dated your mother then.
This could be fun.
Nice to see you. So tell me about, he's never been to Van Wezel before.
Never been. I've handled him, and I've worked with him in Boston, in the Boston Gardens, 16,000 seats, and in Las Vegas in big rooms. This is where you get to see him. 1,700 intimate seats, right up and close and personal to see him.
Wow.
It's going to be marvelous.
And connected to your gala. You do a big gala, you always bring in a huge name.
The Van Wezel Foundation does their gala. This is part of our fundraising efforts for our education program. So they take a chunk of the seats. They take between 400 and 500 seats and sell them at a much higher price, with all the proceeds going to education. And then there's another roughly 1,100, 1,200 seats available to the public. They're not cheap, but they're not as expensive as the gala.
I always thought you had to attend the gala to see the big name every year, but there are some seats available.
There are seats for the regular public at this point.
Calling my mother.
Please do. Get her in town. I'll take her out for a drink.
Oh, yes.
It's very nice.
That's exciting. So that's coming up this month. That's huge.
That's Friday the 16th. It's only 10 days away, roughly.
Oh, wow. All right.
And I know we have a couple hundred seats still available.
Oh, great.
So move fast.
All right. Another one that I know everyone is excited about is Motown the Musical.
Motown the Musical. Yes, the music of my generation, not your generation. It's absolutely terrific. It's the Barry Gordy story and about how he developed all the Diana Rosses and the Jacksonville 5, and it's just fantastic music, and you're going to want to dance.
Yes, and what's nice about this show I see is that it runs, a lot of times shows will come in for just a night or two because that's all that I know you all can get, but this one runs for multiple days.
It's the beginning of a change of the Van Wezel. Mary is going to be booking long-term bookings on Broadway starting next year. We can't tell you much about it, but there's going to be a lot for next season. We're changing the programming.
Exciting. And we've started to see it already in the last few seasons that we've had longer
Book of Mormon,
sit-down
Jersey
musicals.
Boys, Kinky Boots, and they all sold out, and Motown is going to be almost a sellout as well.
That's great, so we want to get our tickets for that one pretty early. All right, now let's move into one of the pop stars that's coming. You've got some great names.
Daughtry.
Daughtry, who we knew from American Idol.
A runner-up in, season 5, I think he was, or finalist? Yep. It 4 #1 hits. It's going to be a great evening. It's going to be a concert you won't want to miss. And it's going to be a younger crowd, so let's get you young folks out there.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great venue, and it's what's so nice too is you can Uber there and back if you'd like. So
well, we have a lot of free parking though.
Sure, sure. Well, I'm thinking the people that are going to drink with watching Daughtry, but that's beginning
Don't we
of
all
March.
drink?
Sure, you're going to fit right in. So you also have a nice event for your subscribers. Tell us about that.
On March 26th, this year has been designated for our Broadway classical and dance subscription announcement, and it's going to be a huge event. We're having talent coming in on one of our biggest shows to do a presentation of the show at the same time. I can't tell you which one, but one of our biggest ones, which has been announced, is Lion King is coming in for next season. So it's the first opportunity to get in and get seats for Lion King before they go out on sale to the public, and we have a lot of other one-week Broadway as well.
So this is an event that you do, actually. You want
people
to come?
Yes, and there will be invitations going out. We invite all of our subscribers first, and then we open it up to the public as well.
Which is, I know there's always benefits to being a subscriber, so this is a great reason.
This is the way to get in
And I've heard
early.
this is is an amazing night of entertainment.
Yes.
I thought it was just, you know, a wine and cheese thing. No, this is the.
No, it's actually even more than just wine and cheese. And what we have done in the last couple of years very successfully is to allow stage tours. So all people that have always wanted to know what it's like to be on a stage with the lights, with the sound, with the audience in front of you, get to walk back there. We have all of our techs back there explaining what lighting and sound does. It's just fantastic. People love it because you're always on this side and you never realize how scary it is on the other side.
It's amazing.
Which is why my hand is shaking now because I'm on this side.
And
here.
it's a beautiful facility, so to see backstage is
and
a
you
draw
get the tickets
enough.
quicker.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
country fans are excited. Winona's coming.
Winona, yes, big noise, and with the band, and she just about always sells out, and it's great country music, and I think people are going to love it once again. It's just great.
That's nice. I like seeing more pop or country artists coming in.
Well, we try to say the building is there for everybody. There's something for everybody's taste. Next year's line is going to be find your passion.
Oh, that's
You'll
great.
be able to find your passion with the things we're bringing in for next season. I think it's going to really hit.
Yes, because you have the Broadway series, and then you have the different
Lots of good
artists. So
dance.
this is great.
Yep.
All right, musical, classical fans or pop classical. We have Yanni.
My dad loves that.
I used to study to Yanni.
Oh, Yanni has staying power in the pop culture music industry.
It's the funniest. I don't mean in that sense. All you have to do is say Yanni, and 1,600 people show up at the box office to buy tickets immediately. It's like
and he looks the same.
Right, 24 tickets just sold when you said his name. There we go. So he's coming up at the end of April.
End of April. That's our final show at the moment. But I will tell you, Mary, as she's wont to do, is plotting a couple of other bookings, including at least one big name talent for May at this point. But if I say it, I die.
Okay. Is there one that you can tell us that I don't think we have any images of, but there is one that is a favorite of Mary's. Can you tell us that
please.
one?
Rick Springfield again.
Rick Springfield!
Mary is mad for Rick Springfield. She buys the front row out so she can move where he moves, all the way up and down the line. She just loves Rick Springfield.
I would be friends with her, that was.
Yes.
Yes, the only thing that makes her happier is this past Sunday at 10 o'clock when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. She's been floating on a cloud for 3 days.
All right, well, if Rick
funny.
Springfield did halftime, she would be thrilled.
Yes.
For tickets to any of these shows and so many more, you want to go to their website, vanwezel.org. Coming up next, we talk to celebrity fitness trainer Bob Harper.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are music to your ears, like the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. Or head over to Muscle Shoals and Fame Studios. Are you a star yet?
My mama thinks so.
Or, if that's your stomach I hear grumbling, our barbecue is almost a religious experience. Food good here? Best in the country. Alabama's got 100 road trips.
Which one you gonna take?
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Celebrity fitness trainer Bob Harper has a new focus in life.
It has been 1 year since his world was turned upside down following a massive heart attack. Now he wants to share his story to help raise awareness. Bob joins us now with Dr. Warren Wexelman to help others learn more. Bob, let's go back to what happened 1 year ago. Tell us about your heart attack.
Stephanie, it was a year ago on February 12th. Imagine, I am the workout guy, right? I'm the one that you come to for all your fitness advice, and I'm always in the gym. And that day, I dropped on the floor, had a heart attack, and immediately went into cardiac arrest. I don't even remember that day. I woke up 2 days later in the hospital, and my whole life changed.
And that's so scary for the rest of us because we are probably not in as fine physical condition as you are, but yet this can happen. So how has your life changed, and what have you done to make those changes?
Wow, well, everything has changed in my life. Not only have I had to change the way that I eat, I'm more of a Mediterranean style now. My workouts have changed, they're not as intense, but also the most important thing, I think, is this relationship that I have with my doctors now, and obviously the medications that I'm on. I'm taking Brilinta every single day. I actually left the hospital with Brilinta, and I knew that was something serious.
And there was an important reason for that, Bob, because Brilinta was shown in a study versus the drug Plavix to actually, at 90 milligrams twice a day, the dose that you're taking, with an aspirin, to actually help prevent a second heart attack and death from it. And so even though it can cause some bleeding, Brilinta is such a major drug for you and patients like you to take, along with the advice from your doctor and under the care of your doctor.
Yeah, Stephanie, let me tell you, when I found out that I was at risk of having another heart attack in that year, I was just thinking, I'm going to do whatever my doctors tell me to do. I mean, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. So what's the takeaway here? What do you hope to get the message out to other people?
Well, I think that I'm part of a club now, this heart attack club. It's a club you never want to be in. I hope, Stephanie, that you're never in this club. But it is now, I'm with a community of people, and I'm trying my best to give people information and help people. We put together a website, survivorshaveheart.com, where you can find 6 of my survivor tips. It's about getting the message out there. It's about raising awareness, and hopefully you'll never have a heart attack.
But I think, Bob, what you're teaching people is that if you do, there are ways to then move forward.
That's right, because I think that to me was so important, because when you have a heart attack, I mean, your whole life changed and your whole outlook changed, and you have to realize that life is just moving forward, and you've got to just get back into this game we call life.
Doctor, before we run out of time here, I want to ask you a little bit about the patient-doctor relationship. Restate to everybody the importance of that.
Well, it is the key to actually staying well and preventing disease and treating it. If there is no give and take, or it has to be an equal 50-50 partnership. Doctor should be able to talk to the patient should be able to talk to the doctor. The patient should never deny or negate or keep their symptoms to themselves. They should always tell the doctor, and the doctor has to respond to it. So there are 3 questions that the patient always has to ask. Doctor, what's wrong with me? Number 2, what do we do about it? And number 3, what is this going to mean to me long term? If you don't ask those 3 questions, you're really not going to be there.
Okay, some great advice. Thank you to both of you for continuing to get the awareness out about heart issues. And Bob, we wish you a very, very happy and healthy new year.
Thanks, Stephanie.
And you know, if it can happen to Bob Harper, fine shape, great diet, it can happen to anybody. So this is February is Heart Awareness Month, and we want everybody to check their numbers, eat healthy, and do what we know we're supposed to do. And for more information, of course, you can go to survivorshaveheart.com. Coming up next, speaking of fitness, we're going to turn things around literally a little bit. Oh, boy.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
using exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him? I'll be right back.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. The ladies in the kitchen are playing with the beignets. We're getting ready to celebrate Mardi Gras. You girls better save us some food because we are busy getting a workout in. We'll see you in a little bit. Joey?
Well, it is Workout Wednesday, and one of the keys to sticking with a fitness program is to keep varying your workouts to avoid boredom. Well, pole fitness is a popular option for many right here on the Suncoast, and Stephanie Frost from Iron X Fitness is here to teach us how to do it. And we are already getting started. You brought one of your amazing cohorts here, Kelly. So let's start off with, how did you get started with this as an exercise?
I actually started about 3 years ago. I wanted to find something to kind of embrace my femininity and something fun to do. I wanted to love the gym so much, but you know, it gets repetitious and it just wasn't for me. And it's not for everybody. So I found a Groupon online and I said, what the heck, 10 classes, why not? And so I did it and I have stuck with it ever since.
That was with Apple Jelly Studios, which I know a lot of people on the Suncoast know. It was above Michael's on East, was around for a long time, and that's where you got first introduced.
Yes, Apple Jelly was around for about 7 years, and we started about 2 years. Actually, my cohort here, Kelly, she and I were both students, and my co-owner, Natalie, who couldn't be here today, she was also a student at Apple Jelly.
And so nice that after Apple Jelly closed, you all decided you want to keep going?
Yeah, you know, the amazing thing about pole fitness is it becomes a sisterhood and a community, and so we just loved it so much. We didn't want to lose that, and we didn't want to lose our way of staying fit. So,
And
you know,
speaking of staying fit, this is amazing. So I think we're all past the idea where, you know, pole fitness had a stigma that it was similar to stripping. I mean, this is true athleticism.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Currently, she's in an upside-down can-can. She went into a brass monkey to get into that. You know, the interesting thing is pole fitness actually never came into strip clubs until about 1968, but it's been around for hundreds of years, from India, China. It was a big fitness sport for men, actually. And so now it's going to be in the Olympics, hopefully, we're hoping.
Yes, I know it's been recognized as an international sport, and hopefully we might see it in the Olympics. So what do you tell people who want to start a class, but they might be a little intimidated?
That would be us. We will admit we are completely intimidated.
Well, the thing is that we start at a very basic level, and we like to just embrace everybody. You know, everybody comes in like, oh, I don't have the arm strength, I don't have the fitness strength. Well, that's why you're coming. It's the same thing as if you were starting out in a gym. You don't come into the gym and immediately have all the strength in the world. You come in to learn, and pole fitness is no different. You don't have to have a dance background, a gymnast background, a weightlifting background. I had none of those things. and it was all learning through pole fitness.
Oh, nice. Well, all right, speaking of learning, we drew straws for who was going to go first, and so I'm going to try. You're going to attempt to teach me the graceful first step.
We are going to start with a step around. So a step around, we're going to start with our hand that's closest to the pole. What we call our inside hand is going to be nice and high. Our outside hand, which is the hand farthest from the pole, is going to come across your chest and grab. So we're going to take our outside leg and extend it nice and far out and let ourselves fall around the pole, trying to land where we started in a big circle. So just let gravity kind of carry you around.
Here we go, gravity.
Do it. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. That was a good start. Yes. Yes. And then when you're done, just ta-da.
Oh, boom.
There you go. See, we always say, and if you ever have a moment where you're like, oh no, just some body rolls and have fun with it.
Stick the landing.
That's right. That's all it's about.
I'll do one more quick one, and then we'll let Stephanie go to the more advanced version.
Oh, yes.
Good. Nice. There you go. Oh, yes. And you added a combo. That was nice. That was great.
All right. So
all right, Miss
taking
Stephanie,
it up a level.
come join me.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to learn is a fireman spin. A fireman spin is kind of like our basic fun sort of we're getting aerial now. So same thing. Our inside hand is nice and high. Our outside hand comes across our chest. You're going to come next to the pole. Our outside leg is going to hook in front of the pole, right at the Achilles tendon. We're going to point our toes. Pointing toes is very important. Everything looks prettier that way.
Okay.
And the back leg is kind of our gas pedal. We're going to push off and go around the pole, letting ourselves carry it down. And we're going to make an X with our legs. So bring it from the ground, shin on the pole. Beautiful. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. That was really good. That was really good.
And with a stuck landing. Now, we'll notice, obviously, that there's more skin on this show than normally is, but there's an important reason why with the pole. Tell us about it.
So, you know, we can't stick to the pole if we have clothes. There are a few kinds that are really sticky, but they're not very comfortable to wear. The more skin you have, the more you have a grab to the pole. So if I wanted to do a climb and I had pants, I'd slide right off. But because I have my shins exposed, all of that oil on my skin, all that skin really allows me to stick and get up high. So all the things that Kelly was doing, she couldn't do in pants. So it's not to be scandalous, it's just so that we can do the fitness aspect. And you think about gymnasts, that they're not wearing, you know, sweatpants and long things. They're wearing the appropriate clothes. So you just have to really think of it like that.
There's a nice self-confidence factor that comes into the class. Tell us a little bit about what some of your students, you know.
Yeah, the mental benefit.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about teaching and about being a student was you have a transformation period as a student as you grow in pole fitness. You're discovering not only how strong you are physically, you're able to lift your body and move it into different shapes, but it's also a trust factor that, oh my God, I'm able to do this. I'm able to find this inside of myself to be brave enough to get higher, to unleash this part of myself that maybe I felt I was pushing down, the sexier side or the sensual side or the fitness side, the strong side. You get to unlock all of that in yourself in one kind of arena, which is really beautiful. And I think we spend a lot of time shoving all the good stuff that we could feel about ourselves down.
And I think it's point.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, now I think we're ready. I say we because I'm talking about our Kelly Jacob. We're ready to take it up another level. So we started with the grace, we added the strength, and now we're going to put it all together with the fearlessness.
Okay. So she's actually going to do a climb for us today.
My hands are sweating.
That's okay. That's okay. The pole is a little bit sticky, so you should be okay. So we're going to bring our hands up nice and high. Okay. And I'm going to bring my right leg up and kind of put my shin on the pole. And I'm going to flex that foot so I have a nice hook on there. Okay. I'm going to pull myself up and bring that back leg in front, really close into the thighs.
The pole.
Yes. Okay. So you're kind of, again, making that sort of X shape. Beautiful. Nice. And then you can reach up again and pull it. Nice. And if you want, you can pull yourself into a sit, pull up, extend the legs, and cross one over the other.
Oh. Kelly, you're amazing.
Coming down. You got it.
All about the
That was really good, though. That was really good.
Oh, we're having a blast here. If you want to find out more about pole fitness, you can go to their website, ironxfitnesspole.com, and you can find out all about class information, how to get started, and their schedule. We're going to keep playing a little bit on the pole, but when we come back, we're going to see some familiar Suncoast sights in colorful prints. We'll be right back.
Oh my God.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. 2 Anna Maria City employees were fired for doing what they thought was a good deed, while the community is now fighting to help get their jobs back. And Governor Rick Scott on the Suncoast today, why he's highlighting a local business. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob.
Thanks, Jacqueline. We are looking at a beautiful afternoon today. We have some fog rolling in later on tonight. That's the only downside, really, to our weather. 76 degrees right now and 67 on the dew point. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 9. And the pressure continues to fall slightly, but it's still high, and it's still going to dominate our weather over the upcoming days. Now, satellite imagery visible showing some low clouds coming in from the southeast there. That's the reason why we warmed up today, because of that south to southeasterly wind flow. But we do have some sea fog starting to develop. You just barely see it out there in the visible imagery. That'll thicken up throughout the overnight hours. More in your forecast at 5. See you then.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
It's time to take a road trip.
Burn rubber for Birmingham, where you can feed your need for speed at Barber Motorsports Park and Museum. Now this gets my motor running. Meet Iron Men. Hey there, big guy. And make a date with your 9-iron. Feed the animals at the zoo and the birds. Then enjoy the award-winning restaurant scene. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
Sarasota is home to some of the country's finest examples of mid-century architecture. Artist John Perman has always been fascinated by these structures, and he has captured some of them in his newest exhibit called My Sarasota. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. So when did you first discover the uniqueness of Sarasota's architecture?
Probably 2001, I started visiting here and actually got caught during the Katrina storm. And bought a computer. I decided to stay for a couple months. I didn't feel like going back to New York City and went online and started to work. Nobody knows where I work, and I work digitally, and became aware, living on Siesta Key, I was living in a Paul Rudolph designed 1948 home, and then became aware of the architecture that Sarasota has, and before then I didn't know anything about it.
Well, people are probably very familiar with your work without realizing they are, because the feature at the back of every Sarasota magazine for several years now is the Only in Sarasota series. So tell us about that.
These are iconic places that make this town a wonderful place to live. Special, unique architecture and other spots like Jungle Gardens.
Jungle Gardens, yeah.
Nathan Benderson Park.
Your drawings have so much movement to them, and I don't know if it's the shading or the color, but they really are, they're iconic.
Thank you. Well, the thing about this town, Sarasota, is the light. And so light defines my artwork, and it sculpts the figures and the shapes, and I refine and I edit. And these illustrations become very unique and very personal. Yes. And it's sort of my vision of the way I see things here in town.
Okay, so you mentioned light. What is it about our area that lends itself to so much creativity and light?
Well, it's a paradise here, and it's beautiful, and it's so different than Northern Light, and I think it's so striking and so much more vivid that
the blue in the sky is more vivid. I mean, I think that makes sense to all of us, yeah.
Yes.
That's why we all are fascinated by it.
How do you choose your spots that you'll do a piece on?
Well, I like to explore the town. I like to get out on my bike, and I see things that are unique, and such as the new airport control tower, and I'm driving by.
I saw that one.
And that's a recent piece that there are boats. There's a retailer, a boat retailer in front, and I thought, here's this tower, you think of airplanes and jets, and there are boats here.
Because it's Sarasota.
Yes, it is. And so that's a surprise that you know you've landed in Sarasota when there are boats at the retailing at the bottom of the control tower.
Tell us about your current exhibit. It's entitled My Sarasota.
It's my first solo show, and it is at the Art Center Sarasota, and it'll be open through March 9th. And it's a group, it's a collection of 4 years of work of architecture that I've discovered, and I've met the people, the owners, they're proud owners that they've asked if I could illustrate their home with a minute sometimes or without, and it's a body of work that evolved basically.
That is amazing. Okay, so I need to ask a very uneducated art question. Because I was confused by this, and I figured maybe I'm not the only one. The exhibit says it features archival inkjet prints. So what exactly does that mean? And are what we're seeing, is it all created digitally?
It is. I draw on a Mac and I click and drag a mouse, and it's the most traditional way of drawing. There are no tricks of anything. And the archival inkjet prints, it's the medium. It's the final. The print is the final medium of my art, and because they're digitally produced, that's archival means it's hopefully going to last for a while, and it could either be called archival pigment prints. It's the type of inks that are being used.
Okay, because they're very vivid, as you mentioned.
Very vivid.
So if we're familiar with your prints in the magazine, this will be a whole nother experience to see them on this inkjet.
Yeah, and it's a different experience than looking at art. It's than looking at the magazine. So they're larger and hopefully will stand the test of time.
Right. Boy, this whole digital thing, it's interesting how for an artist like you, it's really changed your life, because you can work from here and do work anywhere. You mentioned New York.
And I still have clients in New York, and I'm still a working illustrator and graphic designer. And the thing about living in Sarasota, it shows that you can be professional in the design and illustration graphic industry and still live here and not have to live in New York City in the heart. And I was cooped up in an apartment, always nobody knew where I was, and it was the magic of living on the beach with a computer and thinking I could live in this wonderful place and still work.
That energy
nationally.
And you were working remotely before anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And what better than to work there and live here? So
you can't beat that.
You can't beat that. Best of every word. All right. Well, you are definitely going to want to see John's show. It is My Sarasota, works by John Perman. It runs through March 9th. That is at Art Center Sarasota. And for more information, you can go to their website.
And I know that there's an opportunity to get to meet you coming up, and they can find that on the website as well. That's exciting.
All right. And we'll look for your work, of course, in Sarasota Magazine.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
That flamingo.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the creative galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us young.
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
We'll never get older. Each one
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Okay, before we head to the kitchen and pig out, Kelly has a fitness event to tell us about.
Yeah, so we started the Jayco's Outdoor Fitness Series. We had our first one last month, so once a month for the next 6 months, we're going to go to some parks around Sarasota, moving toward Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area.
Where are we going?
Philippi, February 18th.
February 18th at Philippi Estate.
Yeah, it's at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And what's the workout?
Boxing circuit. We bring bags out there. You're going to punch stuff.
Oh, and Philippi's so pretty.
It's
You're going to get
beautiful.
your heart rate up. You're going to get to enjoy the beautiful Suncoast scenery, and Jayco's will be leading it. So sounds like fun. We'll see you there Sunday, February 18th. But first, we're going to the kitchen with beignets and all sorts of Mardi Gras treats. We're fattening up for Fat Tuesday.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert weather app now.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what we're working on for the top of the hour. New York Times bestselling author James Patterson on the Suncoast today. Why he's encouraging residents to support local libraries. In First Alert traffic, right now we're seeing a crash in South Sarasota at the intersection of US 41 and Bee Ridge Road, and it's impacting traffic both north and south, just south of that intersection. Let's get another check on the weather with Bob.
Thanks, Scott. We are looking at a pretty nice afternoon. High temperatures today, low 80s, even some mid 80s well inland. There is a cold front approaching. That front's going to give us a change a little bit. We're seeing that south to southeasterly wind flow. It's creating these low clouds that you see right there earlier. Some sea fog just barely hanging on out here in the Gulf of Mexico. That more than likely will thicken up. A little bit better chances for north of the area, but I think the sea fog will develop and it will roll on. Could be rather thick by sunrise tomorrow. We'll have the latest on that. Right now it's warm, 76, and the dew point very high. More at 5.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs' Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs' Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs' Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips. And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama. Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the Big Top, or call 941-355-9805.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Coming up Thursday at 4 on Suncoast View, Oslo Rep does a modern comedic take on a mid-century avant-garde drama. We'll learn about Rhinoceros. A Suncoast resident creates her own feature film. From concept on paper to the red carpet premiere, she'll tell us all about the process. And a Tampa Bay landscape photographer who's world-renowned joins us in the studio. Plus, we get ready for the St. Barbara Greek Festival with Popey in the kitchen.
Welcome back. Today we're here with Chef Judy, giving us some delicious treats. What's going on here today?
Mardi Gras, right? I
Okay.
mean,
Okay,
now,
that makes sense.
I know you might be a little disappointed we didn't bring the hurricane cocktails
No.
today, but I guarantee you'll be able to find several around town, including where we're starting up at Blue Mangrove Grill. Right over the bridge, you head to Riviera Dunes, a beautiful restaurant, indoors and outdoors, and they celebrate every holiday, this restaurant.
Okay.
They have so much to offer, but look at those succulent Cajun jumbo prawns.
Those are huge.
On saffron risotto, and ironically, I made saffron risotto today at lunch at noon, so there again, another trend that's really big. And of course, this caramel dessert, layers of salted caramel vanilla crunch cake, lightly buttered vanilla speckles with caramel crunch sauce, because that's another thing about celebrating Mardi Gras. You're going to have a lot of sweet treats, a lot of wonderful desserts. There you go. Stephanie has already called this, if anybody touches the plate, hand slap. They brought two, one for everybody else. But Seafood Louis is your favorite. It's so ironic that it's coming from Louis Modern.
Yeah.
You know, food is just like clothing. Wait 20 years and the trend comes back. So same thing with this crab Seafood Louis iceberg wedge, so delicious, and the poached shrimp and the avocado and lemon crab on a lemon dressing.
Like growing up.
That's right. That's right. And of course, Libby's. I always expect an emerald-inspired dish from Libby's, and they have done it again. They have large Gulf shrimp, and it's dipped in Cajun spice buttermilk, which is a really good tip for people cooking at home. Dredge it in flour, and then it gets fried for a crispy bite, Parmesan grits, lump crab meat, and it's finished with a Bordelaise butter. If that doesn't ring Mardi Gras, put me on a float now.
That sounds like New Orleans.
It does now. This one's really fun because
we have
this
tools.
Was we have tools to use. It's like playing the game Operation. If you can't get the mussels out. But this is from Mr. and Mrs. Crab, and what a fun way to go out with your friends,
That's
right?
crazy.
I
I
mean,
love
it's
that.
something you do like a crab boil where you just dump it out on the table. Black mussels, head-on shrimp, Dungeness crab, king crab, snow crab, blue crab, green mussels, crawfish, little nuts, lobsters, scallops, corn, and potatoes. All just as a giant pan. And I guess, Stephanie, I'm going to say I would steal that one. So see if you can tuck into some crab.
You cook that? Do they cook that all together?
They cook that all together. And what's really cool, they have their own individual Cajun sauce and seasoning, so you can order it as spicy as you want it, which is really cool.
So do they broil it first and then
So
spice
it's
it, or?
steamed, and they
got it.
crack it open for you. They make it easy. So
You
the
go on
tools
about your
are
way.
That's right.
I'm good now.
At least give her the bib.
You know what, Stephanie? This is so. This is true. We're gonna put the bib on you.
Pole danced.
I've already been on
right. That's
Once you're on
right,
a pole,
Joey.
it doesn't get any more embarrassing.
That's right, Joey.
Sure.
You bib her up.
You know,
we're gonna head
I may be
over.
sick tomorrow.
We're gonna head over to Felipe Creek Oyster Bar because we have to back up. You did have a beignet.
I did.
Right
I had a beignet
before. I
first.
think most of us did, and we immediately took our cheat enzyme pill because it was so good. But what Chef Pedro did, and they'll have that on special this week, homemade beignets. But he always has to add an extra layer. Some have pineapple in them. Some have banana in them. What a creative dish. And then, of course, you have etouffee, gumbo. I mean, they have really just brought it beautifully. Lots of different dishes to celebrate. So whether you're having a home party or you're going to be going out, there's lots of different events. And don't forget to buy your Cajun seasoning.
I'm gonna have
you can
one.
just throw that out.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Joey's stealing the
so
beignets.
I'm still. Joey, oh, there goes Joey. Joey, you did pole dance today, so you have
That earns us
extra
free
calories.
reign in the kitchen. All right, great to have Kelly Jaco and Sheba Mateo with us.
you.
Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out all the different restaurants for the great Mardi Gras dishes, and you can get all the information on the dining page. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view. Going back in.